So we're on the other side of waking up with dark or no light. So raise your heart to the sky. Set an intention for this morning's practice, wherever you are, whatever that might mean for you. And see if you can create some peace and stillness at the same time as you work through your power, perhaps. So keep your breath steady and still, or not so still, but steady and smooth. Stay away from the action of losing your breath. And fill up completely with each breath and empty out with each breath. So on your next inhale, just bring your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes, just gaze at the tip of the nose. Create some length between your ears and your shoulders by depressing the shoulders down, which will help to lift your heart up. Breathe in, breathe out. Take the thumbs to the space between your two brows. Maybe a gentle massage there, and you'll see a vibrant violet color. And then take the hands right to the top of your head. With your palms are still touching. They may be a little bit forward and maybe a little bit back, depending on your openness in your shoulders. Take some breaths in and some yawns to open up the breath in the morning. And then press the palms up in the air and spread your fingers and arms. Reach your arms up and spread those fingers and just wiggle them around a little bit, spirit fingers, and move through the wrists just to create a little bit of juice. And then bring your shoulder blades together so you look like a capital Y or W. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and down without creating too much of an arch in your back. One more breath as you inhale, exhale, turn to the right side. Right hand behind you, look over your right shoulder, press your left shoulder down. Keep using the hand behind you to create length in your spine, and the hand on the outside to create some depth into the twist. Taking an inhaling breath, the right arm is going to come up and over to the left side. Right hip stays down on the floor. Take that right arm outside the left thigh, cross your arms above the elbows or wherever you can, and then pull your chin to your chest and round your back as you scoop your belly out. Relax your shoulders. On the inhale, reach your heart up, come all the way up to sitting, open up the arms, spread the fingers, and take the twist to the other side. Right arm, left arm behind you. Use the left arm to give you length in the spine, use the right arm to give you the depth into the twist. Drop your shoulders down, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, take the left arm up and over, keep your left hip connected to the earth. Keep pressing that left hip down. And then cross. Left arm over right, lift your heart. Exhale, bring the chin to the chest, round and curl your spine, pull the belly in. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands behind you, shake out your legs, switch the cross of your legs. If you don't remember which leg it is, it's the one you always sit in, most likely. Roll through the hips and just sit in front of your sitting bones or sit on a block again. Hands on your knees, lift your chest. Let's do some cat-cows right here. Pull the belly in, round away from your spine. We did a little bit with our arms crossed. Now as you lift your heart up, sink forward a little bit, but keep your hips on the floor. Exhale, pull it back, round and curl your spine. Inhale, arch your back, bring your collarbones forward. Start to make small circles to one side or the other. And just get a little bit, again, a little bit of juice into the joints here. Shoulders, hips, wrists. And then reverse it. Start out small, start out big. Just, take it where you need to be. This is your practice, right? I'm a guide. Come on back to center and lift yourself up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, lean back, shake out your legs once again, and then take your feet as wide as your mat. Let your pinky toes rest on the edges of the mat, and just rock and roll your hips from side to side, or your knees from side to side, rolling on your hips. And just kind of give a little massage to that outer hip. I know we really abused our hips this week in my fitness classes, so this will maybe give a little bit of relief. And come on back to center. Good. So I want you to just take your feet wide. Good. Bring your hands behind you and lift yourself into a low squat, and then bring your hands inside. Good morning, E.T. And then just, nice to see, I don't see you yet, but nice to see you. And then come back to center and just, find a little bit of a position. Your heels can be off the floor for this one. It's almost like you're gonna go into a crow, and those of you who would like to can certainly go into crow. Take another breath. Press the heels to the floor, and we're gonna lift our hips up. Turn your toes so that the pinky toes are still on the edge of the mat. Hang your head, bend your knees enough that the palms of your hands are touching the floor. So your knees may be very bent, they may be slightly bent, they may not even be bent. So press the hands down now as if you were gonna do a handstand, but we're not, unless you really want to. Take your left hand to your right ankle, bend your left knee, and bring your right hand first to your sacrum. So just feel the length of the spine, and then turn to your right side, much like we did in our twist. And if it feels right to you, right arm comes up. See if you can raise the belly away from your thigh. Left knee can bend as much or as little as you want it to. And as you exhale, right hand comes across left leg. Hold here. So you've got your right arm over your left arm. Bring your chin to your chest. Press down through the bottoms of your feet. And then roll up slowly, keeping the arms crossed. As you come up, bring the arms overhead. Release the arms down by your side. Bring them behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift your heart all the way up. Lead with your heart to fold back down to the floor. Bring the arms away from the back, head down towards the floor. Shake out your head, yes. Shake out your head, no. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale the arms down to the floor. Take your right hand to your left ankle, bend your right knee, put your left hand on your sacrum first. Look to the left side. And if it feels okay to you, then lift the arm up in the air. Bend that right knee as much or as little as you want or need. Inhale. And exhale one more time. As you exhale, left arm in front of right. Bend your knees softly, roll to standing. Bring the arms with you, open them up over your head. Exhale the arms behind your back. Interlace one finger over from the last one, so not your usual way. Lift your heart up and fold back down. Arms up, head down. Feet are nice and strong. Let your head reach towards the floor like you have a headlight on the top of your head. And then release your hands to the floor. Rise to your fingertips. Place your hands on top of your shins. Maybe you get a little bit more height. And then place the hands on your hips, crown of the head to tailbone, one long line. Press down to stand all the way up. Bring your hands behind your back, your fingers in either direction. Just give yourself a little massage first. And then see if you can squeeze your elbows together as you lift your heart up. Maybe like you have a ball, one of my big stability balls here to rest your back on. Rise up on the inhale. Heel toe your feet a little closer, and if you're not at the top of your mat, take a few steps. Your feet can be close, they can be phone. Who's calling? All right, so I'm gonna just make sure everybody is muted. Okay. Oh, Patrice, okay. All right, so bring your hands back to your heart, please, everybody. Hands in prayer. So if your feet are comfortable touching, or if your body feels comfortable having your feet touching, great. But if you need a little bit more space, take a little bit more space. Hook your thumbs together, bring the arms up overhead, reach up all the way, drop the ribs down, lean to your right side, pull left arm with right arm. And at this time, let's just shift our hips over to the left side. So you truly look like that crescent. Inhale back to center, switch the cross of your thumbs, lift up and open, and exhale up and over to the left side. Shift your hips now to the right side. So you've got that nice crescent stretch. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, softly fold, bend your knees, hang your head, hands on floor, shins or blocks. Raise up onto your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. One more time, halfway lift. One more time, rise up to stand, bring the arms up overhead. Bring the prayer to your heart center, exhale. Arms down by your side. Sweep them overhead on an inhaling breath. Exhale, fold through center. Hands to floor, shins or blocks. Halfway lift, inhale. Right foot back, exhale, right knee to floor. Make sure your alignment is correct before anything else happens. Knee over the ankle. Make sure, again, you're not on top of your right kneecap. You're slightly forward of it or slightly superior to it. Rise up onto your fingers or your blocks. Hug your left hip in, big toe down to the floor. And then sweep your arms up overhead. Hook your thumbs the regular way. Arms up, inhale. Now this time, hug your hips to center as you lean to the left side. So you might not get as distant, right? You might not get as big a stretch or a reach. One more breath. Inhale back to center. Exhale the hands to the floor. Straighten your front leg. Lift the toes or not. Inhale, rebend front knee, right foot to the left side. Bring the left hand inside your hip or your foot and draw your hip to the center. Right arm comes up. So we're twisting to the right side of our mat. Hug your knee and your tricep towards each other. Good. Hi, Jane, just mute yourself, hon. Reach up, up, up. As you exhale, bring the right hand down. Turn your right toes forward, sink a little bit more. Replace the left hand on the outside of the left foot. Tuck your toes underneath you, lift the knee up, try to keep the hips low. And let's find our first downward facing dog right here. Walk back, step back, walk through the side to side. Inhale high on your tiptoes. Lift your knees up, pull your chest down, lift your pelvic muscles up. Look forward, shift forward, high plank, top of a push-up. Crown of the head to tailbone, nice and long. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to high plank. This time, all I want you to do is shift. Maybe your knees come down to the floor. It's kind of that hybrid-y upward dog cobra. If it's too much for you, don't go so deep. Go down to your belly and cobra. My toes are still tucked under, shoulders back. And then push back to a child's pose. Sit back on your heels. Inhale, bring your right foot forward between your two hands and just set it up. Knee over the ankle, make sure you're not sitting on top of your knee. And then hug that right hip in as you inhale the arms up. Switch the cross of your thumbs. So that sometimes feels a little funky, right? Hug the hips towards midline. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. So some of you are late to the party. We had an earlier start today, but join us. We're just moving now. Exhale, release your hands, straighten the leg, toes up or down, you choose. Pull the hips towards center. Inhale and exhale. If you're coming in, please mute yourselves. So Jane, go ahead and mute if you don't know how I'll do it. Rebend the knee. Take your right hand inside the right foot. Hug your hips to the midline. Take your left toes to the right side. Left hand to your hip. As you draw the right hip in, left arm comes up. Maybe gaze up, maybe gaze down, but think about hugging everything to midline. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Good, empty the breath, hands on the floor. Left toes move back and we sink down in front of our hip. I see lots of dogs and things happening today. Right arm outside, right leg. Tuck left toes under, keep your hips nice and low. Hug everything towards midline. Exhale, find your downward dog. Walk it side to side. And just take a few moments in downward dog, or maybe it's child's pose that you need today. Right? Maybe you want to take a little break there. So I always encourage that. Inhale, shift to your high plank once again. Look forward. This time just lower your knees, chin chest to the floor, elbows hug in, hips in the air. Roll on your belly. This is a low cobra. So squeeze the elbows in, crown of the head forward, toes back. Pushing down through your pubic bone, softening the glutes as best you can. Lift your arms up off the floor. so that you know that your back is doing the work, not your hands. We got plenty of time for that. And engage your quadricep muscles. Push the top of your foot and your pedicure to the floor. Exhale, come on down. Tuck the toes as you sit to your heels. Push all the way back. And from here, lift your knees in the air, downward facing dog. Walk your dog, shift your weight from one side to the other, and then settle in for a couple more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Good. This time we rise onto our toes, engage everything from the belly button down. Shift forward, high plank. Look forward, either bring your knees to the mat or go down halfway. Roll through to your upward dog or on your belly for your cobra, or anything that works right for you. Downward dog, hips up in the air. Chest to your thighs, hang your head. We're not really forcing our heels to the floor. We're working in that direction, so not everybody's going to touch the floor. Now we'll all rise onto our toes, bend your knees, and take little tiny steps to bring yourself forward into a forward fold. Hang your head and let go. Bend your knees as much as you have to or want to. Grab opposite elbows. Pull the arms apart from each other. Spread your breath across the upper back, the middle back, the lower back here. Inhale, switch the cross of the arms. Just one simple switch. And inhale, release the arms. I think I left something else. Come on all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders back and around. Bring the arms up overhead. Bring prayer to your heart center. Adjust your feet as you need. Stand at the top of your mat if you're not there. Inhale, the arms raise all the way up. Exhale, fold through center. Hands on floor, shins, or on blocks, lengthen your spine. Exhale, let's take 2 steps back to a high plank. Lower down halfway or to your knees. Roll up or on your belly. Downward dog, hips up in the air. Breathe. Touch your feet together. Raise your right leg in the air, nice and high. Look forward and make your way to bringing that foot in between your 2 hands. All right, so you can also lower your knees to the floor. Come up onto your fingertips. Work on hugging that hip towards midline. Press down to the big toe. That's going to help you. And then engage the back leg nice and strong as you start to bring yourself up. Keep your arms down by your side for a second. Shoulders back and down. Bend your back knee. Push your hip forward. Now stay that low and straighten your leg. Hug the hips to center. Inhale the arms up. Hook your thumbs. I left this out of our kneeling, so let's go over to the right side. This time, again, I don't want you to stick your hips out. I want to keep your hips towards midline. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center. Release your hands. Straighten your front leg and fold over. So we're going to keep a long stance. If you need blocks, great. If you have to bend your leg, great. You do you. Inhaling and exhaling. Folding your head towards your shins. One more breath. Good. Now rebend your front knee. Right arm inside, right leg, Turn your left toes on the side and notice that that right hip wants to stick out. So draw it back in, maybe your hand's on a block. Left arm comes up and we're in side angle variation. If you find that you're collapsing too much here, put your hand on your thigh. All right, blocks will always help us here. Big breath in. And as you exhale, look down. Left hand comes down, meets the right hand in the inside. Turn your left foot forward, walk your hands closer. Left hand stays, right arm opens to the right side, twist. So just revolve that twist. Breathe in, breathe out. Stack your shoulders, spread your fingers, move your hips together. On the exhaling breath, hand down. Look forward, find a downward dog right here, hips up in the air. Rise up onto your toes. Helicopters are back. Come forward to a high plank. Choose your way through to meet back in downward facing dog. Maybe you're on your knees, maybe you're on your legs, your toes, hips up. Breathe. Feet are together towards the back of the mat. Left leg lifts nice and high. High on your toes. Look forward and help it through if you need to. Bring your left foot in between your 2 hands. Inhale. And exhale. Hug your hips towards midline. So feel that action of pulling towards your midline. Then rise up and lift your torso up. Bend your back knee. Now stay that low and straighten the back leg. Inhale the arms up, switch the cross of your thumbs. Lift up and over to your left side. Hug hips together. Inhale and exhale. Don't forget your back leg, guys. Right, Cosby? Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands to floor. Straighten your front leg and fold. So the knee could be bent, the hands could be on blocks, you could shorten your stance. You've got to just figure out, the more you practice, you know where your body needs to go. Inhale and exhale. Good, next breath, left hand moves inside, left knee bends. Turn your right foot on its side and draw that left hip back to midline. Right arm comes up, we spin open. Feel the back foot nice and strong, firming into the earth. Inhale and exhale. Last breath here. Look down, right hand down, right foot spins, left arm opens to the left side. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Hug hips towards center. One more big breath. As you empty the breath, hand down, step back to a downward facing dog. Just up in the air. Shift forward to your plank or stay in your dog. You don't even have to come out of it. And flow. Bring yourself up and back down. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. And settle back. Step your feet together again. Lift up onto your toes. Right leg in the air. Step it all the way through. This time just spin that back foot. Bring your right hand inside. Left arm up. Side angle variation. Look at your toes. Press your left big toe and little toe and all toes in the floor. And rise up through the strength of that back leg. Warrior 2, exhale. Straighten arms and legs. Bring your hands through heart center. Open out. So now, pull your left arm back, pull your right arm back, and sink your pubic bone down towards the floor. Spread your upper thighs outward, squeeze your inner thighs inward. Breathe. I have my reader model to my right today because I'm not nothing together here. Inhale, flip your palms. Now, without reaching forward, bring the left arm down. Now, move your left hip a little bit more to the right side. Get a little bit of that nice long stretch there. Take your left arm forward, push your way, Abhaya Mudra. Inhale, bend a little bit deeper, exhale. Inhale, find your warrior 2 as you exhale, settle. Straighten arms and legs, lift your right toes up. Turn a quarter turn to your left side. Hands through heart center, fold into the center, hands on the floor. Or maybe you're on blocks, maybe you shorten or lengthen your stance. You have to feel what really feels right in your body. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your left knee, send your weight back. You can sit down low if it's in your body, right, if it works for you. Or you can just stay where you are and maybe bring your hands to your hips or take your arms behind your back. So some of you will be really low to the floor, others will be more like me, a little higher. But try to get your weight back out of your knee towards your hips. Without touching the floor, see if you can shift to the other side. Right knee bends, hips go back. Heart and lifts, big little toe, all toes on the floor. Breathe. One more. Good, now keep your arms where they are, stretch your legs straight and fold in between your two legs. Hang your head down. Inhale, arms to the floor, look up. Exhale, spin around to the front of your mat. Either go through a vinyasa or skip it to go to downward facing dog. Maybe child's pose is where you want to be. And release. Settle in, bring your feet together. High up on your tippy toes, left leg in the air. Nice and high, look forward. See if you need to help it through or it goes through on its own. Turn your right foot on its side. Left hand inside, right arm up, hug that left hip in. And bend the left knee so the thighs parallel to the floor. Like you're being pulled to the ceiling with your right arm. Look down at your left foot. And then rise up, warrior two as you exhale. Come out of it once. And you bend, warrior two. Tuck your right hip under. Yeah, a little bit more. Left arm forward, right arm back. Hips open outward while heels squeeze inward. Breathe in. Keep your legs as they are. Flip your palms. Right arm down, left arm up. Now tuck that right hip towards your left knee a little bit more. Breathe. Take right arm forward, Abhaya Mudra. Pushing fear away. Beautiful. Inhale, return to warrior two as you exhale. Settle for a breath. Inhale, lift your left toes, straighten your left leg. Turn to face the right side of your mat and fold in between your two sides. I was going to say turn to face my car, but you're not all in my garage with me, even though I think you are. Halfway lift, inhale. Make sure in this position, those of you who are super flexy, don't pull your knees back, rather pull them up or slightly bend them, just to protect. Now inhale, bend your right knee. Take your arms behind your back and change the grip. One finger over. Pull yourself through. Pull your hips back, your head forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep your arms clasped. Shift up and over to the other side. Breathe in. And then make your way back to center, straight legs, head down, arms up. Release your hands to the floor, lengthen your spine. Spin around to the left side. Step back. Take a vinyasa or skip. Add push-ups or skip. We find downward dog as our little resting position. Shift the weight out of your hands towards your heels. Maybe pedal out your legs side to side. Now walk your hands to your feet, top of your mat. Coming into a forward bend. Hang your head. Good. Take your hands onto your shins and lengthen your spine here. Bring your hands to your heart or your hips and rise up to stand. Heel toe your feet together. Close your eyes for a moment. Settle down. Bring the shoulders down and towards each other, crown of the head towards the sky. Ground your big toe down, your little toe, the ball of the foot, the heel, so everything is nice and strong. Open your eyes and lift your right leg off the floor. Make sure that you're not collapsing into that left hip, so keep everything even. Flex the foot and extend the leg out. Step forward just enough to charge your body forward and lift your left leg up in the air. Or if I had balance, it would be nice. To warrior three. I don't know. So the world, you know, I told you it's the spring equinox, right? So maybe the world is spinning really fast today to catch up with the time changes, right? Point your toes, let it go. And so if you fall out of balance, who cares? Come back to standing, 2 feet together. Close your eyes for a moment. So just use this moment to be grounded. Crown of the head sky, tailbone floor, earth. Open your eyes. Weight to the right leg, left leg lifts. Extend it out. Charge and step it forward. So we're moving towards the front of the mat. And we're lifting that right leg off the floor. Breathe. Inhale, both feet stand together. Separate your feet hips width. Bring your arms overhead, inhale. Fold through center, bend your knees, and take your peace finger grip around your big toes. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, pull your elbows out to the side as you push your fingers down with your toe, and you pull your toe up with your fingers. Ear to shoulder length. Belly pulls up and in. One more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release your hands to the floor, round your spine, push down and roll up to stand. Roll your shoulders back and around. Walk to the top of your mat if you're not there. Bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, bring the arms all the way overhead. Just a little change. As you bring your hands to your heart, step your right foot out to the right side. Big step, turn your toes to the right side as well. So we just kind of came out of this. Open up your arms. So face the right side of your mat. Both toes are facing the same direction. So big turn your left toes forward. Now turn your right toes to the right. Keep your legs straight. Maybe adjust your stance a little bit and move your torso to the right. So for those of you who need to see this front, we're here going into triangle pose, okay? So right arm down, beautiful. Make sure in this pose, those of you who are flexi, that you don't hyperextend your knees again. So you make this happen through your nice, strong legs. Tuck your tailbone under. Your hand can be anywhere, just not on your knee, right? So maybe it's on your thigh, maybe it's on a block, maybe it's on your shin. Some of you will get your big toe grip. All right, so you go into a place that works for you. One more breath. Now just rise up, bring your left arm down, right arm up. And then bend your right knee. I'm going to take this to the front so you can see it. Bend your right knee, reach your right hand in front or to the side, and lift off that left leg as you open up your hips. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon balance. Big toe on the floor. Now that left leg is in the air as strong as the right leg is. The left arm is over your shoulder. So it's the same pose with the leg off the floor, really. Maybe you need a block. Beautifully. Go check out those right toes. Don't let them sneak in on you. One more breath. Put your left hand on your left hip. As you rebend the right knee, step back into your triangle pose. So I'm facing you, but you're facing the back of your mat. Inhale, rise up, turn right toes in. Left toes to the left side. Adjust yourself. So you're going to move your hips to the right, torso to the left, left arm down, right arm up, triangle pose. Lift the bottom side of your body up and in. Pull your knees up. Make it nice and strong. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Did I take this back up to standing? Yeah. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, bend your left knee. Left hand in front or to the side or on a block. Right leg lifts up and spin towards the right side of your body. Shoulder stack, hip stack, flex the right foot. Right arm comes up, and we open our hearts up. Imagine that I am pulling your right leg away from your center. Imagine that you are pressing your left leg so strong, you look like an L from the side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take another breath. Put your right hand back on your right hip. Soften your left knee and return toward, triangle here. Right arm up, left arm down. Inhale, look down to rise up. Turn your toes to face the right side of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips as you inhale. Exhale, fold. Take the big toe grip here as well. Peace fingers around big toe. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, elbows pull out to the side, head to the floor. If your head goes down easily, great. If it doesn't, great. But if you want to take a headstand here, this is always an option for you who like to do tripod headstands or any other variation. Feel free. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, flat back. Come all the way up. Step your right foot in a little bit closer. Pivot around to face the back of the room. I'm going to take you back to the back of the room, but I'm going to face the front. So your right toes are forward, your left toes are back. They're about even with your hips. Square your hips off. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Reach fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or reverse prayer pose. Lift your heart up. Inhale. Squeeze your hips together. Exhale. Come only halfway down. Just halfway down so you can kind of align your spine. Get parallel to the floor. Breathe in. Exhale. Go a little bit deeper. And if you can maintain a long spine, go ahead all the way down, head to shin. But keep hugging that right hip in and left hip in, so you're not sticking your right hip out to the side. Inhale and exhale. Good, now release your hands to the floor. Maybe blocks, lengthen your spine. Exhale. exhale, this time I want you to bend your right knee and put your forehead on your knee and round your spine. So if you can touch your knee without rounding or without bending, if you can touch your forehead to your knee without bending your knee, then great. If not, keep your knee bent to put your forehead on it. And then walk your hands out in front, palms together, thumbs crossed, pinky side of your fingers on the floor, look upward, breathe. Inhale and exhale. Chin to the chest. You should hear a loud, your breath being very loud in your ujjayi breath. And then roll to stand all the way up. Biceps by the ears, come up. Good. I'm still facing you, but you're still facing the back of your mat. Bring your left hand to your waistline, palm up. Right hand is forward. Send your weight to your right leg and pick up your left foot. I like it from the outside, but you do it, or from the inside, excuse me. You do it wherever you need, knees together. Now, you can stay right here because this is the pose. Or kick your foot behind you and start to tilt. Hiding your knee behind your hip. Oh, Joe, you have somebody with you. Hi, I wish I knew I'd say hi. Hi. You know you can change your names on the screen so that if you have somebody with you, I know. Just saying. Good, beautiful. Try to keep that left hip down as you kick your hand and foot away from each other. One more breath. Good, now we're going to release the foot, oh, excuse me, and step it back where it was. So we're back in the back of our mat. Bring your hands to your hips, lengthen, and pivot twice to face the front of the room. So now your left foot is forward. You might have to adjust that back foot a little bit. Inhale. Arms behind your back. Do what you did on the other side. Fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or reverse prayer. If you're doing something that has a thumb cross the other thumb. Lift your heart up. Exhale, come halfway down. So, you might have to adjust yourself in here. That's okay. Crown of your head to tailbone long. Push the big toe down, little toe, ball of the foot, heel. Nice and strong. Lift your knees up. And if you can maintain a long spine, then continue to go down as long as you can, because this is our straight spine. This will get a little bit more hammies. Inhaling and exhaling. One more big breath. Now, release your hands to the floor. Round your spine, chin to chest, and put your forehead on your knee, even if it means you have to bend your knee a lot. Pull the belly in, round. Now, if you can, walk your hands in front of you, palms together, cross one thumb over the other. Look upwards towards your belly. Make that contact. The forehead and the knee, your sixth chakra, it stimulates your sixth chakra, your vision, your sight, your inner visions. Right? Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Keep more weight in the back foot. I know that's a little challenging here. And then keeping the chin tucked and biceps by the ears. Roll to stand all the way up. Bring your right hand to your waist, palm up, left arm stays in the sky. Shift your weight to your left leg and pick up your right foot. I like it from the inside. You can do it from either side. You're both correct. Stay here or begin to tilt and kick. And just follow your eye gaze to the fingertips. Working at hiding your right knee behind your hip and working at perhaps getting your right foot over your head. Yeah, I know. Sounds crazy, but some do it. One more breath. Now slowly come on back. Release your foot back to where it was on the track. Spin to your right side. Step your feet wider. Bring your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold through center. Bend the outside of your feet or behind your calves. Put your head towards the floor. Take a headstand or anything else that suits you here. And fold your body in half. Release the hands to the floor. Lengthen your spine. Turn your toes open, so your hips open. Bend your knees so that you're sitting into a squat. Put your hands on your thighs. Press your right shoulder into the midline. Keep your hips sticking back. And then switch. Then come back to center. Round your spine to come up. Keep your toes open. Straighten your legs. Take your arms out to the side and then goalpost them so they look like goalposts. Turn your toes out, tuck your tailbone under. Come down and bend your knees into that squat. This time we're not sticking our butt out. We're going straight down. Go down as low as you can. Press straight up, stand up, inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the arms, bend the knees, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, rise up. My goddess poses, and bend the knees, arms open, hips down, fold. Inhale. Now bring your hands back on your thighs. Tilt your hips so that your torso is parallel to the floor. Bend your knees and place your palms on the floor. Some of you may want to take a arm balance here. Walk your feet in closer. Bring your hands behind you. Fingers pointing towards your heels. And just start by maybe sitting on your triceps. Titivasana, for those of you who are familiar, not my best pose, but I'm going to work at it. And maybe you bring your feet in and off the floor. So my legs don't go straight, but some of you will get that. And I'd love to see if anybody's got that. Look forward. The trick is in getting your arms like chaturangas. There you go. Who's that, Lauren? Awesome. Good, guys. Now, coming out of it is as graceful as going into it. Okay, come back and find your way into a straight leg forward fold in between the two sides. You have to have a sense of humor when you practice arm balances, guys, okay? Lengthen your spine, inhale, hands to hips, rise up. Step to the front of your mat, arms by your side. Close your eyes. Just erase that whole thing, okay? It never happened, or it happened so well. But we can't ever repeat it exactly the same way. Bring your hands to your heart center, open your eyes. Inhale, bring your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, fold through center, hands to floor, shins or blocks. Halfway lift, inhale. Step to a high plank, slow. Your way, upward, downward facing dog. Hips up. Breathe in, breathe out. Walk your feet to touch. Right leg in the air. Right knee to chest round and curl. And now bring it to a plank in that rounded spine. Bring the right knee to the right wrist. Lay the foot down on the floor. Snuggle your left foot back. And just take the top of your pedicure onto the floor as you walk your hands back for your pigeon setup. So start here, lifting your heart up. If you collapse onto that right side, you're kind of missing a whole stretch on the left side. So stay upright, even if you need a block underneath your hips to do that. And then walk your hands forward until you start to feel it. And then take it down until you are in the maximum position that you're going to find yourself in, and stay for a few breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. So some of you can lay straight across the floor. Some of you are going to be more upright. Some of you might be on a block. It's okay, just respect where you are. One more breath. Good, now come up, bring your hands to the floor. Lift yourselves up. Let your right hip come to the floor. Sit on the right hip now and draw that left leg maybe like a little diagonally to your left side. So it might be off your, it's probably off your mat. Good, breathe in. Flex your left foot. Turn towards that left foot. So sit up nice and tall. Keep both hips on the floor. Lean your heart forward. And if you can, walk your hands now. And you can grab wherever or take a block underneath if you have the space, or you can take your wrist grip. Breathe. So keeping both hips on the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Fold over that left leg. Breathe. And let it go. Another breath. Walk your hands back in. Lift your chest up. Take your right hand behind your right thigh and lift yourself up, arch back into your dancer's bridge. Pull your heart up and back. And as you exhale, come back to sitting. Take your left leg, well, take your right leg first. Line it up parallel to the front edge of your mat. Take your left leg and place the left ankle. Now, this is not my best pose by any stretch of the imagination. So what you see in me is what we'll see in the typical person, right? That knee is going to be lifted. If your hips are tight, that's okay. Options to sit on a block. Option to go into Sukhasana, easy pose, right? So if you cannot get, some people call this fire log, some people call it 90-90. You call it what you will. It's a tremendous hip opener, double pigeon. Hands on either side of your legs to give you length. If you have the space, feel free to carry that forward. So it's a very intense hip stretch. If your hips are tight, you're not going to get as far as you might want to in your head. Don't worry about what your head is telling you. Listen to your body. Breathe in, breathe out. So just hang out for a few breaths and recognize the hips as the storage points of junk as they are. Take a couple of breaths. You might notice that as you stay here longer, it eases a little bit. Okay. And then slowly come on out of it. Good. Carefully release your legs and shake it out. Cross that same leg in front, roll over and find yourself into either a vinyasa, skipping that and going into downward dog or anything else that kind of feels right to you. Hips up in the air, chest toward your thighs, unless you're in child's pose. Bring your feet closer and lift up onto your toes again, left leg in the air. Stay in dog as you bring the knee to the chest, rounding curl. Shift forward to a high plank, bless you. And left knee to left wrist, tuck your right toes underneath you, shimmy that right hip back. If you need the block, it goes right under the sitting bone of the left leg. Look back at your right foot, make sure you're not sickling it in. Stay upright. First we start upright just to kind of settle into it. And then maybe you start to walk forward. And maybe your chest comes all the way down to the floor, but maybe it doesn't. Okay? Breathe. Inhale and exhale. So the mind tends to wander here. Don't let it. Just use your breath. Follow your breath. Slowly bring the hands back to the floor. Lift your chest. Stay upright for a moment. And then bring your left hip down to the floor. Right leg swings around to a diagonal. Left foot inside. Turn to your right leg. Flex that right foot. Make it nice and strong. Look up. Walk your hands forward. Stop when you first feel it. Or take it into as deep a stretch as you can. Some of you will hold your toes. Some of you will hold the bottom of your foot. Some of you might use a strap or, yep, right like Karen with a towel. Breathe in, breathe out. Never forcing, that's all. Just acknowledging where you are in space and letting your body be there. Don't worry about what it looks like to anybody else or what anybody else does. Inhale your arms back in. Take your left hand behind your hip. Lift up, push your hips forward. Dancer's bridge, exhale. And return to the floor. Take your left shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. You might have one side that speaks differently to you. Right foot in the same direction. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Lift your body forward. So again, my knee is lifted because my hips are really tight, but I think this side is actually more open than the other side, although it looks kind of the same. And then just tilt forward. Breathe in, breathe out. You know, we are a nation of tight hips. Breathe in, breathe out. another breath in. Inhale, walk it back in. Carefully release each leg and shake it out. Cross the legs. I actually have to do the other leg. And then step back, take it to a flow. Up, down, skip, and breathe. And then bring your knees onto the earth. Keep your toes tucked under. Walk your hands back and you rise up onto your shins. So hands on your hips, shoulders over hips. Good. Pull the elbows back towards each other, lift your heart up. So again, imagine that you've got a big stability or beach ball behind your back and you're just kind of leaning your back over it, right? It just gives you this nice arch. So instead of sitting back, you're lifting up and back. Now if you don't need the toes tucked under, that's okay. Undo them. Good. Now I want you to just look at your right foot and take your right hand to meet your right ankle, just your right side. Push your hips forward, pull your shoulders forward, so square it off, and then bring the left arm up and just let it back bend for you beautifully. Push those hips forward, arch back. One more breath, strong quads. And then bring it back to your hips. Sit on your heels. Bring your chin to your chest. Cup your heels and round your back, forehead to the floor, forehead to the knees, crown of the head to the floor. Hips lift up off the floor, belly button pulled in nice and strong. No weight in your head. Lower the hips. Roll to sit up. Rise back up on your shins, hands on your hips. Fingers in either direction, toes tucked or not. If you can, push the top of your foot and shin down if your toes are not tucked. Now inhale, just look back at your left foot. Let your left hand reach for it, so tucking the toes might help. When you get there, square up your shoulders and hips and pull your hips forward. Then see if you want to lift that right arm up, arching up and back. Half camel. Breathe in, breathe out. And then release. Come back to your heels. Cup your heels with your hands, chin to chest, round and curl your spine. Lift your hips up off the floor. There is no weight in your head. Push into the top of the foot and shin. Release. Roll up to sitting. Take your time, come back onto your shins, tuck your toes or not. Both arms together this time, or go one arm at a time. Lift your heart up, arch back. Maybe you can reach for your heels together, and then pull your hips forward, pull your heart up and back. Let your head go back. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. If you have other variations, if you get your arms on the floor behind you, or your hands at your heart, fine. Come back one more time, sit on your heels. Take that last rabbit pose, chin to chest, forehead to knees, and around your spine, pulling your heels with your hands. Top of the foot and shin, press down, breathe in and out. And then slowly release your hips. Sit in child's pose, let your arms drape by your side, let your shoulders release open. And then roll yourselves to sit up. Shift your legs over to either side. Bring them out in front of you. So just check behind you to make sure that you're, I'm going to try to angle myself a little bit here. Make sure that your head will touch the mat, if that's what you care about. And then lift yourself up nice and tall. I have all sorts of stuff going on in my garage these days. Like a warehouse for pots of pans. All right, arms out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. Chin to chest, round your back. Start to slowly roll yourself all the way down to the floor. When you get to the floor, hug your knees to your chest. Take the right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. And make circles of posing. both directions. Draw your knees back to your chest. Hug everything really close. Flex your feet. Maybe hold on to the bottoms of your feet or your toes. Head and shoulders lift up off the floor. And then release your head, release your feet, lift your legs in the air. Take your tailbone to the floor. Breathe. Good. Just let the legs rest in the air for a moment. Point your toes. Flex your feet. Point your toes. Flex your feet. Bring your hands underneath your hips. And start to lower your legs, point your toes. Bring your belly to your spine, ribs to your hips. When you get down to the floor, let your legs touch the floor, let your forearms lift your heart up, and rest no weight in your head here either. Take your bottom jaw over your top jaw. Any other variations that you play with here are always welcome, so I want you to find what speaks to you. When you're ready to come out of it, chin to chest, roll down slowly, hug your knees back to your chest. I'm going to have you take one more back bend on your own, either a bridge, a wheel, another fish. Find something that speaks to you, or maybe you just want to invert. So if you want to go into a bridge, hands touch the heels, tilt your pelvis, come on up with a huge bend. If you want to take it one step further into, it's actually quite a big step, into your full wheel, fingers towards your shoulders, come to the top of the head, and then press yourselves up. And then stay in any position for about 5. Look at my daughter, okay. And for about 5 breaths. When you come down, hug your knees in. That's your final back bend for the day, or maybe for the hour only. Take your last and best spinal twist to both sides. So make sure whatever you're doing, do to both sides. And when you're ready, make yourself comfortably numb. Lay on your back. Let your arms rest by your side, palms up. Let your hips splay open. Close your eyes. Let your body completely melt into the earth. Let your thoughts be still. Let calmness wash over your body. Let peace wash over your body. If you have the luxury of staying in Shavasana longer, stay, turn off the video, turn off the sound, turn it off. When you're ready, make your way into a comfortable seat. Just start to move slowly, fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Deepen the breath. Come to a seat, bring your hands to your heart center. Give yourself some thanks for showing up on the mat today and always. And acknowledging this community that we have together, our yoga community, our fitness community, this common bond that brings us together from different parts of the country, the world. Om Shanti, 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 Om peace. 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 Bring your hands to your third eye as you bow your head. Inhale. As you exhale, namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your day, weekend. Tomorrow is 9 o'clock, not 10:30, okay? 9 o'clock. I know it's a big time difference, but we'll see you tomorrow. No, today is 9:15. Yeah, and Maria, it did say it in the class pass notes. Just today. Tomorrow is 9 o'clock. Maria, nice to see you. All Marias, all different Marias. Yeah, so tomorrow is 9 o'clock. If you want to come, if you can get yourself up, back to 9:30 next Saturday. All right? I'm sorry, I had to make a change. Oh, stay home, stay fit, stay healthy.